It's always recruiting season in college football, but 2025 is off and running, and wouldn't you know it, man, LSU, they are recruiting, as we like to say on this show, they are recruiting like a program. Currently the number one class in the 2025 On3 industry team recruiting rankings. They got not one, not two, but three top players at their position, the best wide receiver in the country in De'Corian Moore, the best running back in the country in Harlem Berry, and the best quarterback / number one player in the entire class in Bryce Underwood. So what does it mean for LSU? What does it mean for Brian Kelly? What's the impact of this whole thing? That's what we talk about right here on this show. Make sure you're subscribed. Okay, call to action here. If you're watching the show live, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this as a one-off video, we talk ball, we talk recruiting, we talk portal, we talk all things college football because just quite frankly, it's the greatest sport on the face of the planet, and we are very, very fortunate to get to cover it here on a daily basis. So make sure you're locked in there. We appreciate you for that. So what does it mean? Well, first things first, it means the myth is busted. And quite honestly, the myth has been busted. And you know what myth I'm talking about, that Brian Kelly can't / won't recruit. Let's take a look at what the numbers say, huh? 2023, number 5 class. That's fine. You can do that one time. 2024, another top 10 class, number 7. In 2025, as I just mentioned a moment ago, they got the number 1 class in the entire country, in all of college football. And Philip Dukes, who's a national recruiting analyst for us here at On3, host of the 5-Star Flex over on the On3 Recruits channel, was kind enough to join us on this platform last week, and I thought he put it perfectly. When Brian Kelly got to Baton Rouge, punchline culture had a field day. He's not a fit. He doesn't know what he's doing in the SEC. They're going to eat him alive over there. He's got a fake Southern accent. He's on TikTok dancing with recruits. A lot of people were quick to make jokes and try and win Twitter. That's fine. That's totally fine. But Philip Dukes said it perfectly. People saw jokes. I saw a coach making an effort in a place that embraces you when you make an effort in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And now, honestly, recruiting at its base level, yes, NIL is a factor now, I understand that, but at its base level, recruiting is about relationships and about what Brian Kelly was applying there, which is effort. And those kind of shake hands, quite honestly, because effort is important to any strong relationship that you develop, whether it be recruiting or otherwise. So it's just scary now because you have all that you need to be successful in Baton Rouge. We've seen it now. 1, 2, 3 coaches have all won national championships since the year 2000. 3 different coaches now, okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is I think Brian Kelly is as good a coach as the majority of those, the other being Nick Saban, so take that as you will. It's scary. All you have, or all you need rather, is in your backyard if you're Brian Kelly. Here's the important part. Philip also mentioned this. Duke's the Scoop. Tremendous follow on Twitter again. Subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel too. Word to the wise. The brand is on fire. Okay, the brand is on fire because the offensive brand, I think, for LSU has never been hotter with what guys are doing in the NFL. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, the cats from that 2019 team that all these recruits got to see on their television screen growing up. And then also, you just poured gasoline on this whole thing because Jaden Daniels won the Heisman, and you had Malik Neighbors, who I think is probably going to be close to a first-round pick, if not a first-round pick, in this upcoming NFL draft. So you have an offensive brand that is attractive to playmakers, okay? Now, you've always had the defensive brand that speaks for itself. And last year was what it was. Teams have down years. It is what it is. But like LSU historically has always been in that DBU conversation, regardless of who the head coach is. And you had the Honey Badger, who's doing his thing in the NFL. And these guys that I'm mentioning in the NFL, I understand they didn't play for Brian Kelly, but it still matters from an optics point of view for these recruits to see guys go to a certain school, have success to where they want to have success at in the NFL, which is where all these guys aspire to be at. So now, the thing that I want to say for LSU, and we're seeing it reflect on the recruiting trail and the opportunity for them going forward, you have elite sales pitches on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. You want to come here and play defense? Go look at the guys that are playing in the league right now. Go ask your friends who DBU is, and you'll have a discussion. There'll be a good argument, but LSU will be in that debate. You want to come play offense here? You want to go catch touchdowns? Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, they also wore these colors. They scored a lot of touchdowns. You want to play quarterback here? Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, they both won the Heisman Trophy here, all right? Jaden Daniels worked with our quarterback coach, now offensive coordinator, Joe Sloan. So you want to come here, you can do that too. So what that is, I believe, is the opportunity to recruit a versatile team. A versatile team, recruiting offense and defense equally well. Because what that means for your team going forward now is you can play in different styles of games. You can play with the teams in the shootouts within your conference with Texas and Ole Miss. You can play the more physical style of games. You got to have more of a defensive battle. You can match up with Georgia a little bit more better than maybe you could previously. And the more versatile you can be, the more styles you can play, the better opportunity you have to win more ball games. That's massive. That's absolutely massive. Not to mention the fact that now you get to a 12-team playoff, and I mean, it's dealer's choice who you could draw on that 12-team field. You could end up playing a team like a Michigan. You could end up playing a team like I guess you could play almost as well. You could play a team like an Oregon, like an Ohio State. Like, you don't know who you're going to draw. But any kind of style you have to play, you are better positioned to do that now because of how they can recruit. So what I want to leave you with here is Brian Kelly, he's recruiting. That myth has been busted. They're getting after it, and they are positioned for success in the future of college football because of how they're building their team and the sales pitches they have to build their team. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.